Okay, this is topic one of cost-benefit analysis. Uh, Here we will have an introduction to the cost-benefit analysis, understand what it is, the history of CBA, and how to apply it, the application of CBA, and the steps that we want to follow when we want to conduct a CBA, and some criticisms of CBAs. So CBA is a tool that we can use to evaluate a project, but it's not perfect. All right, the ideas of CBA is actually quite old. It starts from 1936 with the U.S. Flood Control Act, which says that the flood control was desirable if the benefits, the benefits to whomsoever they might accrue are in excess of the estimated costs. So here, two things are important. First point we are looking at is benefits should be bigger than the costs. And we don't care. Second point, this benefit and cost is to the society, okay, not just a particular individuals, okay. So nowadays, CBA has become well developed, both theoretically and practically. And here are some major publications, including the textbook we want to use. Okay, what is CBA? The definition is cost-benefit analysis is a procedure for comparing alternative causes of actions by reference to the net social benefits that they produce for the community as a whole. Okay, again, 2 points are very important here. First point is net social benefit. So actually 3 points. First point is net benefits. So it's benefits take away the costs. Okay. Second point is social. So we are standing at society's point of view. We are not standing at any individual firms, individual consumers' point of views. So when we are looking at the costs and benefits, we always need to be aware that this item of cost, items of benefits should be the social cost or social benefits. So which means we got to account for externalities. So we are standing at society's, community's point of views. So because we are standing at society's point of views, so CBA tend to be so the cost and the items of benefit and costs in CBAs tend to be identified on a more comprehensive basis than private sector evaluations. So if you are running a company, you are thinking about whether you should invest in the projects, you can also conduct what we call firm present value analysis, similar to CBA. But for this firm's analysis, you are standing at your firm's perspectives. So we got to compare costs and benefits, and sometimes there are different items of costs and the benefits, and we got to be able to compare them, or we got to convert them into apples so that we can compare apple with apples. And this apple is money, so we convert everything into monetary terms so that we can compare them. Sometimes there are items of costs or benefits that do not have dollar values. We call this intangibles, and this will require special treatments in order to put a dollar value on top of it. An example would be, let's build a park on, say, Castle Hills, on top of Castle Hill, and one item of benefit would be the views, the health benefit to people who go to the parks to do exercise there. And certainly these items are intangible. We don't readily have a dollar value for it. So we need to use specific techniques in order to estimate a dollar value of it. And we will talk about this in later subjects. And another feature of the project that we are evaluating is that usually it involves many years. For example, we want to build a bridge on Ross River, and this bridge can be used for 30 years, 50 years. So benefit and cost, they occurred at different point of times. So in such cases, we got to discount all these future dollars back into present so that we can compare them on an equal basis. Okay, when we are applying cost-benefit analysis, we are actually not, well, this CBA is a decision-making, is a method that we can use for decision-making. And certainly there are alternative methods that we can use to make decisions. One of them would be democratic voting, okay, or based on popularities. And CBA is not based on how popular a project is. Okay, let's look at examples here. Okay, suppose this project, whatever it is, involves three persons, A, B, C. And for A, the benefit is $3, and person A does not need to pay for it. So the net benefit for person A will be $3. For B, benefit is $2. However, B got to pay $3 for it. So net benefit for her is -$1. For C, benefit is $1, cost is $2. So again, C is worse off due to this project by $1. Okay, so let's look at social total benefit. So the society consists of only three persons, A, B, C. So the total social benefit is 3 plus 2 plus 1, which is $6. Total social cost is 0 plus 3 plus 2 is $5. So now net social benefit will be $6 minus $5, which is $1. So we have a positive net social benefit. And the CBA will say this project is good, is efficient project. We should go ahead with this project. However, let's vote. Okay, if we use CBA as the decision tools, we're going to say yes. Okay, let's vote. Let's make decision in a democratic ways. Okay, so we have three voters here. A is going to say yes, vote. B is going to say no, because B gets worse off from this project. Similarly, C will say no as well. So now we have 2 no, 1 yes. So the final decision by majority voting will be say no. So now you can clearly see that CBA, evaluating the same project, CBA has a different decision than the majority votings. So CBA is not based on how popular the project is. So the key essence of applying this cost-benefit analysis is to look at what is the net social benefit due to this project. And if it is positive, we say it is efficient. Negative, say no. Okay, in doing so, we are actually applying what is called overcompensation tests. So in order for a project to be considered efficient, the net gains to the gainers will have to be greater than the net loss to the losers. Or in other words, the gainers must be able to overcompensate the losers if necessary. Okay, they do not need to. Okay, and actually this is called Kaldor-Hicks compensation test. That's the yardstick we want to use in the cost-benefit analysis. Right. So if you are running a firm and you're deciding whether you should invest in the project. Then you can also conduct an exercise similar to CBA, which we call firms and net present value analysis. So they are very similar, okay? However, there are some important differences. For example, first one, CBA is concerned with the welfare of societies, okay? So standing points are different. CBA is we are standing at society's point of view. Firms NPV analysis, you are standing at the firm's point of views. And that means in CBA, we generally need to include the external benefit costs into the project evaluations. And the firm's NPV analysis may not include this. And sometimes, and that also means tax, okay? So in CBA, if there's a tax, and this tax just represents a transfer of resources from one component of the society to another, then we do not include it. Otherwise, we include it. Okay. In contrast, NPV for firms, tax is always costs. Okay, so you are gonna always include tax into your NPV analysis. And discount rate use might be different as well. CBA is also concerned with the consequences of a project on the distribution of income and wealth. Okay, so if a project is a very big project, like superannuation project, then it certainly has income distribution effect on the societies. And CBA, if we conduct CBA analysis, we should consider this. Right, how can we use, for what purpose can we use cost-benefit analysis? CBA has been widely used in the following context. For example, decide accepting or rejecting a single project. Should we build a pipe to take water from Burlington to Southeast Queensland to Townsville, let's say, North Queensland? And you can use it to choose the appropriate scale of the project, whether a dam should be 30 meters high or 60 meters high. You can use it to choose one of a number of mutually exclusive projects. For example, if you want to build a park on a piece of land, or you can build a house, a residential housing project on the land, or whatever, you know. So basically, these projects use the same piece of land, so they are mutually exclusive to each other. You can use CBA to make decision which one you should choose. You can also use it to decide the optimal set or combination of discrete projects from a larger number of discrete alternative projects. For example, should a development combine housing, shopping parks, or office spaces, or just housing? Okay. You can also use CBA to evaluate government approval for projects or policies. So you can conduct CBA and submit the results as part of the applications to the governments for a particular project you want to do. You can also use CBA to evaluate project or policies exposed. So before the project or policies have been implemented, to see whether it will reach your desired outcome or not. And rather than ex ante beforehand, okay. And one benefit of doing so is that after the project has been implemented, the flows of benefits and costs you might already know them for sure. There's no uncertainty attached with these flows. So you can, in a sense, you can more accurately evaluate them. In contrast, if you conduct CBA beforehand, ex ante, then you got to estimate these flows, and there's definitely uncertainty associated with these sort of estimations. And later on in the project, we will discuss a number of methods we can use to account for such kind of uncertainty, such kind of risks. And also, you can use international development and funding agencies, such as World Bank, ADB, Asian Development Banks. They also require applicant countries to undertake CBA of the project for which they are asking for funding. Right. Okay. So that's how you can use cost-benefit analysis for. As I said before, cost-benefit analysis is one method you can use for evaluating a project, either physical or intangible. And this method has been well developed, both theoretically and in terms of applications. Theoretically, it actually has a foot on welfare economics. Welfare economics or normative economics is the part of economics that is concerned with value judgment. So CBA is based on value judgments about what is efficiency and how it should be measured. So basically we are saying that, okay, A is better than B. Project A is better than project B. And by using the yardstick, the Caldwell-Hicks overcompensation tests. So it has a theory foundation on this kind of value judgment, welfare economics. The other branch of economics is called positive economics, which is concerned with what is, what was, or what will be. So it's not about value judgment. Also, the income distributions, the equity issues is also addressed in cost-benefit analysis, though may not be as to a full extent as we wished it to be. Okay. So it is sometimes suggested that net social benefit should be calculated for a range of distributions and allow society to decide on distributions and the consequent net social benefit. So that's a suggestion in principle, but in practice it might be difficult to implement. All right, CBA is a method for evaluating project. However, it's not perfect. So there are a number of criticisms here. For example, first one, false accuracy in valuation of benefits and costs. Well, there may not be sufficient data, so you have to estimate, and you might get the sense wrong. And sometimes CBA attempts to value life mobility, which some people might say we shouldn't be doing so. Okay. Another criticism is self-serving analysis. Sometimes people say that, okay, you want to do the project and you conduct cost-benefit analysis. You are using this tool to serve your own purpose. So there could be imbued bias due to this. Okay, or I'm a company. I want to build a bridge on Lost Rivers, so I hire you to conduct cost-benefit analysis, which I'm going to use it in my application to the Townsville City Council. However, because I pay you, so there could be some sort of bias, or you always want to be aware of these possibilities there. It could be subject to political manipulations. Well, CBA appears to be scientific, but in practice, it can be subject to political manipulations. And there's also attack from political science. This objects to evaluating projects using CBA rather than relying on the democratic political process. Well, democracy, people might think, okay, we should use democracy to solve the problems, to make decisions. However, this democratic decision makings may not be desirable. We will see that in topic 2. Okay. There's also criticisms from Marxists or neo-Marxists. They just reject conventional economics. All right, there's a criticism from management science. So they mainly want to change CBA methodology. They believe that the political decision makers should control the values used in the calculation of the social benefit. Okay, there's also a criticism on equities. Distribution of income or wealth is not adequately dealt with. It's frequently so in CBA we usually just devote or practically we devote a section to discuss the income distribution implication due to this project. If this project is big, if you are evaluating a small project that has negligible income distribution effect, you might ignore it at all. If your project indeed you perceive the project can have a substantial implication for income distributions or equities, then practically you just devote a section to discuss about it, and this may not be sufficient. Or so there are quite a few criticisms of CBAs. However, we are still using it. It's actually quite widely applied in practice. So most criticisms have validity only under certain conditions. All techniques have flaws. There's no perfect tools in this world. So shortcomings is no problem. But more importantly, we just need to be aware of it and try to minimize the problems of associated with the methods we are going to use. And CBA now is a widely used technique around the world. And this is the realities. And it has been powerful in reducing the use of public funds by politicians to buy votes. And as we will see later in topic 2, a democratic or majority voting system is unlikely to generate a consistent social ordering of alternatives. And this is called errors and possibility theorem.